Is that better? Okay, great. Great. It is broken now, though. Which... One second. Okay. I shouldn't have even turned my music off. Test. Test. Okay, there we go. My god. Things cannot go easy. Can they? Click through. Let's just get to the game. Oh wait, one sec. I need to write down times. Well, not times, I changed all my audio settings for a group stream, and now they're definitely fucked. So let me try something. So that is way too loud, yeah. We're gonna have to see once we get in and fuss around with it some more. It's good music, it's just loud. We're gonna try 16, negative 16. Is this Maya? They really love to play games with me. Remember how the professor was supposed to show with decisive evidence? Well, nope. He's actually now an inquisitor. The only reason I think this is Maya is I think Phoenix did the last one, and I think they might alternate, but they might not. So if this is Phoenix, my bad. Yeah. We had Darkla on the ropes. I mean, we totally drop-kicked her argument into space. We just needed a little bit more... But then the professor burst in, saying that he would be able to prove Espella is really the Great Witch. Yeah, Phoenix wouldn't nope. That's the thing. Phoenix wouldn't nope like that. He definitely wouldn't say dropkick into space. There's no way we can give up now, but what do you do when someone you're up against is like the professor? This is why they should have committed to evil Layton in Unwound Lost Future. It is too loud for me, though, on my end. This needs to get turned down a little so I can hear myself think. Shades. So what were we doing? Shades live outside the realm of those who dwell within Labyrinth. To them, I am known as the Great Witch. The woods, we exist to carry out tasks. I am not a witch or a wandering spirit. Oh well, fuck. That's it for her testimony, I guess. I didn't do anything.
What'd you think, Nick?
I'm thinking there's something really weird going on with Darklaw.
Really? Do tell.
I mean, just listen to her testimony. She's more than willing to elaborate on some potentially incriminating information.
I see your point.
The one really trying to put an end to the story could be Darklaw herself.
I guess, but still.
Huh?
Remember, Nick, we're here to save Espella. So let's squeeze every last bit of information we can out of Darklaw and clear Espella's name.
You know, you could be onto something. I'd better gather as much information as possible for the time being. So true. The professor against you, that's bad news. No, that's bad news. One sec, I'm trying to respond to something. You going, Faye? You going upstairs, Faye?
Hold it!
Okay. I don't remember what we were doing before this, so we're just gonna see what happens. Great Witch?
Yes, that's right. However, I am not Vizela. The mistress to those who dwell in the Eldritch Woods is dubbed the Great Witch. Even if I wanted to be Vizela, I couldn't. As the ever so charming Inquisitor stated earlier, I cannot use magic.
Miss Darklaw, I have one question. What do you mean by live outside the realm?
I mean just that, Inquisitor. We truly do live in a realm separate from this town. Now, surely one as intelligent as yourself has worked out the answer by now, no?
Perhaps that remains to be seen, Miss Darklaw.
Hello, Hannah.
Regardless, it is something we cannot discuss with anyone, but it is something that the defense should be able to prove.
That almost sounds like a challenge. By the way, Miss Darklaw, since you're not actually a witch, why do you continue to be called that? Don't words mean things?
To answer that, I must first discuss the true identity of the Shades.
Hold it!
So you're saying that the Kira here right now is a shade version of the Kira from before?
Indeed, Defender. The girl has no recollection of her life prior to living in those woods.
What manner of witchery is this? Why, this girl, Kira the Flower Setter, was cast straight to the flames before our very eyes. That's right, Your Honor. But as you can see, she didn't die. And also, like, the professor is here and is fine. We have not commented on that, I don't think. You see, there's actually a trick to the incineration device in the witch's court. A trick? Once the verdict has been delivered, the court attendants move the steel cage into position, after which it seals
Shut, my goodness. Seals shut.
Then, the cage is dropped down into a pit of fire. The bottom of the cage then opens, allowing the witch to escape unharmed into an underground passage. If what you're saying is true, Defender, then what of this town's witch-purging history? What has been the purpose of all of this?
You and the Knights have indeed been ridding Labyrinthia of witches. However, nary a single life has been taken in the process. That is the reality.
Oh god, I always forget and then we come back.
But what? You cannot truly expect me to believe such a ridiculous notion.
Is this Maya?
Your Honor, it's true! Take a good hard look. It doesn't get any more alive than this.
It's you. I am May.
Great joke, guys.
What a weird,
Isn't that like a one time, that feels like it should have been like a character thing, and I don't think that this was like established that he's bad at names. I think they just did that for this, and that almost makes it weirder. Is this too loud? How's the volume? It looks like it's verging on too loud, so let me know if it is too loud.
Well, it's actually Maya Faye, your forgetfulness.
Okay, thank you.
What the heck are you doing? Everyone's going to recognize you.
Yeah, but seeing is believing, Nick. Now they have to believe you.
Oh, she stopped the music.
Do you see? Are you satisfied? All those found guilty in the witch trials lose their names, magic, and memory. They are then sent to spend their lives as shades in the Eldritch Woods. And the mistress of those shades is the Great Witch. As you can see, this girl too has become a shade.
I have no more words to express my utter disbelief at this situation.
That's enough. Shall we return to the testimony?
Why is there, like, loud shouting going on?
Why do I have the feeling things are going to get a lot worse?
Because, Phoenix, there's, like, so much of this game left somehow. Like, so much of this game left.
Hold it!
These tasks you mentioned, were you acting on them this evening?
Yes, I was told to come here and become Bezella.
Oh, wait just a moment, witness. Did you just say become Bezella?
My, how absolutely dreadful.
Why would anyone be given such a terrible task?
Where have these shades come from?
Order, order!
I'm sorry. I don't know why I was given such a task. All I can do is follow the orders I am given. If I can do that, then I can return.
What do you mean you can return? Wow, the volume level difference for some of these songs is crazy.
Such is the nature of the shades, neither human nor witch. Theirs is an existence spent in the shadows. Each of the shades is given specific tasks. Then, upon successfully completing such tasks, they are allowed to return to Labyrinthia as brand new people.
But Lady Darklaw, how can they return as brand new citizens? When we already know who they were, for instance, we all recognize the former flower seller standing before us.
Now that, my lord, remains a secret. But a secret you will come to understand sooner rather than later.
It's so funny, Hannah, because, like, they say that, but we don't... Oh, my mic is so loose. Hold on. How loud is this? That's pretty loud. I'll just be very careful and not hit my mic. It's funny because they say that, but then, like, I don't think we have, like, anyone who has come back. So I'm not sure if they actually, like, come back or if they just tell them that they're going to as, like, incentive to do the tasks. Both of them are weird. Both of them are weird and strange. Because Arthur Cantabella is a weird and strange man. If there's anything we can say about Arthur Cantabella, it's that he's a weird and strange man.
Simply baffling.
The one who gives us our tasks is the Great Witch.
Sorry, I'm, like, adjusting my mic a ton. If my voice sounds weird, it's because it's slightly off to the side now. I'm seeing how this works as an angle, but it might not work great.
That would be you, Lady Darklaw. Oh, Magnificent One.
While the explanation is wrought with much I cannot comprehend, I request the witness added to their testimony.
Okay. Lady Darklaw was our venerable mistress. She assigned us our tasks. She was the Great Witch.
Hold it!
So, about these tasks, can you give us any other examples?
A shade's tasks must never be discussed with others, no matter what.
She says that even though she just finished telling us about her secret task. Incidentally, don't you perhaps remember when you arrived back in town to carry out your orders? Orders? Orders.
Well, not really. My memory is still a little fuzzy.
Say, didn't Kara only just recently become one of those shade thingies?
Still, I failed in my task tonight.
Come to think of it, when Luke and I had our little run-in with Kira, I remember being blown clear across the marketplace. Two guys getting absolutely fucked up. But I never saw any explosives or gunpowder.
Maybe Kira was given the task of blowing you to smithereens, Nick?
And we're done. Getting back to the testimony. I'm sure there's something here that just doesn't add up.
I'm not a witch, nor am I a wandering spirit.
You really don't have any recollection of your old flower-selling self, do you?
I don't.
When a witch becomes a shade, they lose all memory of their past life.
They lose their memories? But why? And yet you still have some grasp of the concept of magic, do you not, witness?
Let me spell it out for you. Magic does not exist in the Eldritch Woods.
Oh, but there are actually lots of things back in the forest that I have not seen in this town.
There are things you haven't seen here?
Like really huge machines, that sort of thing. There's one that spits out fire with such amazing speed, and then it expels these huge plumes of grey smoke.
A machine that spits fire? Never have I heard of such things. Are you certain that these machines of yours of which you speak are not simply magic?
You know, now that you mention it, I don't think anyone from this town can actually see those of us from the forest.
They can't see you? Could it be something like that robe? Could it be, Phoenix? How could such a thing even be possible without magic?
Maya's like, I cannot wait to tell you about flamethrowers.
Miss Darklaw, if I may interrupt for just a moment.
What is it, Inquisitor Layton?
Through your testimony just now, we have all come to understand the process of how one becomes a shade. Fuck. However, I was hoping you could perhaps elaborate on one additional point. Namely, what exactly is the purpose behind the shades?
If you wish to know our purpose, there are certain other things you must first understand. Once you've done that, the answer should be quite clear. Isn't that right, Defender?
Don't point at me! The purpose behind the shades.
Rest assured, you will not get the answer from me. As the saying goes, the witch is in your court, Defender.
Not the saying. Hello, metaphorical goblin. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome.
Sounds like Darklaw's challenging me to figure this out, and I don't know what I'm doing. Challenge accepted. I guess.
Just had to go to my mind palace for a second to accept that challenge.
It'll be fine.
Hold it!
Ms. Darklaw,
What is the purpose of the shades? Oh, that was a new one, and I didn't read it, but we're all fine. We get it. We get the dealio.
As mistress of the shades, I cannot disclose the purpose of their existence.
well then. Since Mistress Darklaw is unable to tell herself, it seems we must rely on evidence instead. Evidence, huh? I do believe the shades could have something to do with that which exists in this town but ought not to.
Oh, fuck, what was the answer for this one? I think I got confused because this is this the one where we just say magic?
Something that exists but shouldn't. Well, Defender, are you prepared to present evidence?
Ah, shit. Fuck. God damn it. Actually, this might be the one where we present literally any spell. This one might be the one where we present literally any spell.
I was born ready, Your Honor.
Were you, Phoenix? Were you born ready to be defending in witch trials? In a place full of magic? Like, were you actually born ready for this? Who could be born ready for this? Sorry, my glasses are super dirty. Who could be born ready for this? Like, this twisted,
creation of Arthur Cantabella's messed up brain. Edgeworth. Nick was such a theater kid. We were playing the first case of A4 in our server playthrough yesterday, and I was like, man, this guy's such a theater kid. You know what? Together they were prepared. You're right. That's why that's why they cut Edgeworth from this game. They were like, this guy, I think they had to cut Edgeworth from this game because they realized if they put that man in a game in a world where logic did not exist before Phoenix showed up, I think he would explode. I think his brain would just explode. His head. Kaboom. And then he'd be dead. And then they'd have to deal with that. I think it would kill him. I don't think he could handle it. No matter how much amnesia you gave him, no matter how much, he would not be okay with what was happening. Something that exists in this town but shouldn't. I think I know what you're getting at, Professor. Wow, there's a serious lag tonight. Sorry about that. Defender, please present your evidence. Yes, Your Honor. The purpose of the shades could be to make sure this particular thing exists in Labyrinthia. Let me just save state. And then we're just going to present... Which one do we want to? Let's do the Fire Dragon. Investigate all the books and crannies? Well, I am investigating a book, so...
Take that!
Take that.
Something that doesn't exist. I have a feeling no one is going to like the answer I'm about to give, and it'll probably end up shaking this town to its core. But I've got to tell them. The truth has to come out. Does Bruno Mars... Okay. Since I arrived here in Labyrinthia, there's been no shortage of really strange events. Ignazi, Demir, Godor, Goldor, and now Grandworm. The mere command of magic is in itself not a crime, is it not? Does Zacharias Barnum is gay? His brain is too prone to the horrors. You know what? That's so true. Edward's brain could not handle this. In this town, witches are arrested and made to participate in witch trials, and then they are sentenced to death by fire. I fucked that sentence up. But none of those witches actually died. That supposed death by fire wasn't real. And neither is magic. It doesn't really exist. Absolutely fucking hilarious thing for him to say standing next to Maya Fey. I love this game because Maya channels spirits and Luke talks to animals, but magic also isn't real. It's great. I love it. Exactly, like, that's not magic. That's different. This is fake. This is not. They're two separate things. Like, someone would be like, isn't this magic? And Maya's like, no. My thing is not magic. Luke's thing is not magic. Whatever the fuck Labyrinthia was doing, that was magic. What are you saying, Defender? The thing Trucy and Apollo do, not magic. Athena's thing, not magic. The Magatama, not magic. This is not magic. None of this is magic. The Eldritch Woods apparently contain some rather large machines, unlike anything that exists within Labyrinthia. Machines that emit fire and produce large plumes of smoke. To top it all off, the citizens of Labyrinthia are not able to see said machines. It sounds like nothing more than magic. Yes, that's exactly it, Your Honor. Ms. Darklaw. Magic doesn't really exist in this town. That's the answer, isn't it? Magic does not... What utter nonsense!
It seems we have finally arrived at the stunning conclusion. The secret behind Labyrinthia.
What?
Did Danny Phantom have magic? No, exactly.
Order, I say. What is the meaning of this? It means that all of the magic you've seen in this town was nothing more than an illusion put into motion by the shades. But Defender, the witches, we have clearly seen them use magic. Got a huh. Let us take a moment to think carefully about the systems employed by the shades. Systems? What is essential in order for a witch to use magic? It's stupid. The witch must possess a talia or talea magica and must say an incantation in order to cast a spell. And the spells able to be cast are determined by the scepter's magic gems.
This is the only reason that the magic system in this game is acceptable to me. Because it's all fake. Because if it were not all fake, this is like the worst magic system. I'm totally cool with the magic system with limitations. This one sucks ass. Bad D&D game you built, Arthur. This D&D game sucks.
Now, what do you think the purpose of placing such requirements on the use of magic?
I missed a verb there.
What do you mean purpose?
Bang.
These requirements are not there to allow the user to cast magic. Rather, the reality is they are there to inform the shades of who should be using magic. It is possible that the witches were always being closely observed by shades.
What a thankless fucking task. And these people weren't getting paid. My god. Well, you know what? They don't have enough people they burned at the stake, I presume. So maybe some of them were getting paid, but these people were definitely not getting paid. Enough. They weren't getting paid enough. Like, can Darklaw sue? I think she should be able to sue Arthur Cantabella for like 10 fucking years of back pay for both her and her dad. Fuck this, you know? Sue his ass for child labor. I don't care. Put this man in jail.
That's why they donned these robes, to appear hidden until they were needed to create magic.
Yep, fuck, clicked out.
Create? Indeed. There are all kinds of spells within this tome. It would be quite troublesome if they were simply allowed to use any spell at will. Yeah, it would make the Shade's job that much more difficult for sure. Precisely so. That is why it was imperative that a certain restriction be placed on the use of magic. Ah, you're referring to the talia or talea magica, huh? Of course, no wonder the scepter could only contain 2 gems. Then there's the incantation. What would happen if a witch could simply whisper the incantation quietly to herself, or not even say it at all?
Boy, that'd be so cool. I'd be casting spells all day long, and no one would ever see it coming.
Maya, we spent an entire trial proving that you weren't a witch, remember? If the witches didn't give some sort of signal, then there would be no way for the Shades to know when to cast the spell. Right you are, Mr. Wright. The incantations were a way of telling the Shades when the witch was ready to use magic. What on earth? Never did I think these requirements could have such a purpose.
Broken lights.
Now, let's think back to the previous events leading up to today that have involved magic. Our first encounter with magic was the use of the spell Ignacy a few nights ago. A spell like this.
Love the Shades in their little box.
Was nothing more than a flame spewed from a machine being used by the Shades. Then that means Demir. A spell that makes the caster disappear? No doubt about it. It must have been this robe. Next first is the incident with gold, or the spell that transmuted me into a gold statue.
Hold on. Music is still too loud. Can't hear myself think.
Absolute looks from Darklaw. While I understand this may sound a bit absurd, I can only surmise he's so short! Haha, there he is! That the Shades created a gold statue in my image and took me and left it in my place the instant the incantation was uttered. I don't know why they had a gold statue of me. It just happened to be there. They had it ready. Why, I don't know. Professor, it's no more absurd than anything else that's happened so far.
Bam!
We can therefore conclude that all of the magic in Labyrinthia was created in a similar vein. What do you say to that, Miss Darklaw?
I'd expect nothing less from you, Inquisitor Layton. From you, I don't know. I don't know who you are. At any given time, there were between 5 and 10 witches in this town. All of the witches were accompanied by shades at all times. It was easier than you would think. You see, the shades living in the Eldritch Woods total in the hundreds.
The hundreds? Girl. Why? Why is the government providing funding for this? I mean, I see plenty of top hats in fantasy settings. Listen, how many hundreds? So that means less than 1,000, but more than 100. So, I was thinking that maybe some people who sign up for the experiment just don't get really put in Labyrinthia. Alternatively, early on, they might have had some people like actually get hired who were working behind the scenes who know what's going on, but I imagine that those would have to be phased out because like Darklaw is the only one who really gets it over there. So really the only thing I've got is like maybe they phased out like a lot of people who were there in the beginning, or they were just not letting everyone do the Labyrinthia experience TM trademark registered. You know, like you sign up for this experiment and then instead of getting to live out your medieval whatever nonsense, they just throw you in the woods and make you do manual labor. I guess everyone's kind of doing manual labor, but like that's the only way I can think of how we got hundreds. And I know it's been 10 years, but like that's all I've got. Yeah, worse than the control group, the living in the walls group.
It was simply a matter of having each of the shades operate in shifts in order to watch over each of the witches within the town.
I must say, Lady Darklaw, that is quite a number of shades.
'Twas not only those who fell victim.
Oh. Did we all forget about this?
'Twas not only those who fell victim to the flames that were turned into shades, but their victims too were made permanent residents of the Eldritch Woods.
Oh wait, no, I did know this. And that's still not enough people. That still can't be enough people, considering in this game, the witches who quote-unquote killed people were presumably immediately caught. I did remember this because the fucking, the two people that, Kira supposedly killed, quote-unquote, their shades. Yeah, if they kill one witch per active magic, because they seem in the game to come across as pretty on top of things. Potentially there was a time earlier on where maybe they were like, but no, because you need that many shades to watch them, so you'd never be able to do that. We have to assume, because otherwise it doesn't make sense, we have to assume that some of the people in the experiment just got brought on as shades, opposed to being in Labyrinthia. And I assume that maybe they were told, they were just given the same thing. Like, you are Labyrinthian, you were in Labyrinthia, And if you do well enough, you can go back as a second chance, because they don't have any memories. They just wipe your memories and are like, do this, and you will be rewarded. And like technically, I could see why maybe hypothetically you could possibly argue some sort of relevancy there to the quote unquote experiment. But like all of this is so unethical that like it doesn't really matter. This is bad. This is bad. There's no way Arthur Cantabella gets out of this living a happy life with his family. You know, like there's no way he gets out of this living a happy life. Like this man's getting sued and sued and sued and sued. Even if for some reason he didn't get jail time, he would be sued like constantly. I refuse to believe no one in Labyrinthia sued this man. If only because Miles Edgeworth would sue this man.
But then...
Also, I don't buy the ending. I do not think Eve is like, let's be chums now. No, I think Eve can and should sue him for like all of his money. Just do it, girl.
Those two shady thieves from before were turned into shades?
Ah, yes, you mean Robs and Marks. Despite their dubious appearance, those two were a couple of my best shades.
Shady thieves turned into shades. This stuff writes itself. I cannot believe what I've heard.
She's gonna make him pay for the rest of their vacation.
However, there is still one thing I do not understand just yet.
And what would that be?
As has just been explained, we have established that there is no possibility of magic being real, but replacing me with a gold statue to give the illusion of transmutation, for example, while it sounds simple enough, I myself, and presumably also Miss Fay, have no recollection of this replacement actually taking place.
Hey, that's right. The professor got all blingy... The professor got all bling-blingy before I could even bat an eye.
It begs the question, how and when was the statue created, let alone used to replace me? That is true. The same goes for Godor. It's supposed to create a portal between two cream-colored walls. Perhaps that is exactly why the spell can only work on green walls, Mr. Wright. Still, it'd be impossible for the Shades to get those portals ready so quickly. I agree. If we take a moment to think, my voice hurts, we can see that all of these spells have one strange thing in common.
Oh, a thing in common.
Yes, indeed. Almost as if some time between the start and end of the incident was unaccounted for. Furthermore, any memory I might have had regarding the incident seems to have simply disappeared in the process.
I've got it. Nick! It's just like what happened to Kira. She's got absolutely no memory of her life in Labyrinthia before the trial, right? Yes, I do not remember this Kira you speak of. She's never seen Death Note. And, oh yeah, when you really think about it, doesn't it seem super weird how the Shades are able to return to town if they complete their tasks?
You're right, Maya. I mean, the townsfolk are bound to remember some things about them. Right? Like how Miss Kira here threw a major hissy fit in court and was barbecued for being a witch. Eloquently put, Mr. Wright.
I was about to make a joke about how I was like, nice, yeah, fucking real smooth and kind, Phoenix Wright.
Hence, we cannot yet conclude that this entire illusion was primarily accomplished through the use of machinery. Simply put, there must have been some way of affecting the memories of all of those within the confines of this town.
This is gonna be crazy.
Missing time and lost memories. Now that is interesting, Inquisitor. You are correct. There is in fact a secret that lies within the depths of the Eldritch Woods. Something that the people of this town cannot see. Something that can rob people of their time and memories. It is the very thing that connects all of what you have heard tonight. It is a secret of monumental proportions.
And, let me guess. 'Tis a secret that cannot be revealed by the mistress of the Eldritch Woods. Is that right?
Yes, an excellent deduction, Defender.
Great. Witches' souls wander astray within the Eldritch Woods. Until tonight, I thought this nothing but a mere fairy tale told to children. But it has become clear that a seemingly large organization lies within that forest.
The Witch's Court is the border between this world and the other world.
Then that means, in this world, your Labyrinthia's High Inquisitor, while also being mistress to the shades in the other world. Otherwise known as the Great Witch. May I intervene for just a moment, Mr. Wright? Sure. In all honesty, in all honesty, there is still something that sticks out as odd. Just one thing? Particularly in Ms. Darklaw's previous testimony. Did you say the previous testimony? Ah, that already pushed that out of my head. He is so real. There was one vital truth that we managed to take away from that testimony. You mean that magic does not truly exist in Labyrinthia? Indeed, quite the vital, albeit shocking, truth. However, there is one more truth hidden within that same testimony. There's something else in that testimony? I must have checked the court record more times than I can count, but I didn't find a single other contradiction. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Wright? Probably. I have no memory, man. When there is no evidence left. Oh wait, we have, yeah, okay. We have but one more weapon at our disposal with which to uncover the truth.
Oh, hey, I've got it, Nick. Remember, in a witch trial, you can cross-examine two witnesses at the same time. I know this is the last case, but, like, I have to keep reminding you of this. It's like a new... We didn't do this in the other 3 games, so, like, we have to keep reminding you that this is something you can do now.
Hey, that's right. I completely forgot, for sure. Being able to have a look at 2 testimonies side by side is bound to turn up a contradiction somewhere. And that contradiction should provide us with a much-needed clue. I'm not entirely sure where the professor is going with this, but I believe his judgment. Besides, if we're going to blow this case wide open, it's gotta be worth a shot. Very well, we will now take a closer look at Lady Darklaw's previous testimony. This is it. In Ms. Darklaw's previous testimony, there is a glaring contradiction between this piece of testimony and the others. Ready yourself, Mr. Wright.
Shades live outside the realm of those who dwell within Labyrinthia. To them I known as the Great Witch. Those with shades, they live in their house in the woods. Shades live outside the realm of Labyrinthia. To those who... Okay, shades live outside the realm of those who dwell within Labyrinthia. To them I am known as the Great Witch. Is it this one because of the change in tense? Let me save.
Objection.
Oh. I love how they had to... I love how this implies they both had to fucking book it. They had to book it to the center, point, and then book it back to their desks. And Phoenix was like, Your Honor, there's obviously this huge discrepancy between those two pieces of testimony. I am not in shape. Like, what are you guys doing? It made more sense when they were behind the bench together. It's very funny when they aren't.
Ms. Darklaw stated that she is known as the Great Witch. However, according to Ms. Kira's testimony, Ms. Darklaw was her venerable mistress, the Great Witch. That is correct. She was the Great Witch. Note Miss Kira's use of past tense. Past tense? I'm afraid my grammar is not quite what it used to be. May I ask what you mean, Judge? Judge. Come on, buddy. It's simple. Miss Darklaw was mistress to the Shades, or as they called her, the Great Witch. Therefore, she is no longer the Great Witch. She is not the Great Witch. Witness, is this true?
Huh? Oh,
It is as you have heard, my lord. I relinquished my position as Great Witch in order to fulfill the objective of this task.
What would that objective be again? That would be the assassination of the storyteller, Your Honor. Witness, at the beginning of this trial, you stated that you came to town in order to complete your task, didn't you? What's more, you said you were going to summon the fire dragon to do it. Now this task, it wasn't Miss Darklaw here that gave it to you, was it?
no, it wasn't.
So then, the most pressing question is, who was it that gave you that task? Who told you to come to Labyrinthia and assassinate the storyteller?
I cannot tell you, no matter what.
Alright, so Darklaw isn't the Great Witch anymore. Which must mean the mastermind behind this entire thing is... It would seem the defense has worked it out as well. Mr. Wright, you know who gave Miss Kira her task tonight, do you?
I am just, like, I keep thinking about, like, I keep thinking about, like, all of, like, the evil Layton things I've seen because, like, everyone's like, oh my god, evil Layton, and, like, Unwound Lost Future is, like, so fucking boring in terms of evil Layton, you know? Like, so boring. No offense to him, but, like, bad. He used to be on my fridge. I didn't have space for him anymore. He can haunt here. How about we have him, wait, which one is that? I've been up there twice. Why? Stanley moment. Did I move it? I have all dogs go to heaven. I don't know where evil Layton is. I was gonna say I could put him behind the chat. Evil Layton is so funny to me, okay? Sorry, I'm like looking at a message someone sent me. Okay. Sorry, someone was sending me messages and I'm like, A haunting, yeah. What, you miss evil Layton? You miss evil Layton? I've it would have been it actually would have been really funny if they had gone with evil Layton for verses, purely because like I do think a lot of people found the fact that found, like, even if they aren't saying it, like I think a lot people probably saw a lot of potential in the unwound future evil Layton concept. And then like you get Dimitri not trying. He's like in like the worst disguise we've ever seen in these games. So I think it would have been really funny for them to be like, all right, we'll give you evil Layton in this Ace Attorney spin-off that isn't technically canon. Like, I think that'd be very funny. Herschel LaCroix. Yeah, he did not commit to the fucking assignment at all. Like, was he hoping to convince him at all? He didn't even convince the other fake Layton. We had 3 Laytons in that moment, and the one that was supposed to be evil wasn't even, like, remotely convincing to the other fake one. Come on, guys. No one is trying hard enough. Ugh.
Defender, I ask that you enlighten the court. Show us who really gave this witness a task to assassinate the storyteller.
This bitch.
Take that!
Yeah, Don Paulo? Dez? The freak in the weird outfit? And Don Paulo? They're doing everything. Dimitri bought like a cheap mustache and a coat and hat and called it a day. He didn't even put a fucking wig on. 0 effort. Literally 0. I would have killed him. Like, can you? I think that's the funniest part of imagining Dez involved at all. I think he would have seen this outfit and been like, "What the fuck are you doing? The fuck is this? What on earth?"
The storyteller.
I think Des would have just killed him right then and there.
We're talking about someone with the authority and power to replace the Great Witch. Someone who calls the shots. I can't think of anyone else that meets those criteria, except the storyteller himself. Preposterous, then that would mean? Exactly, Your Honor.
Sorry, I'm listening to someone come down the stairs.
It means that the storyteller gave this final task to Kira himself. He was, in short, responsible for his own assassination.
I guess that's still technically assassination.
What? Order in the court. But for what purpose? Why would he plan his own assassination? That I cannot say, Your Honor. However, the final chapter of the story does tell of his inevitable death. While he assigned the task to Kira himself, it is perfectly natural that he would do so. However, what is not natural is your behavior tonight, Miss Darklaw.
Just like, don't fucking judge me.
What was unnatural about the High Inquisitor's behavior? You were once head of all the shades, and yet tonight you tried to interfere with the storyteller's plan. You rendered Miss Kira unconscious and locked her away in the belfry of the bell tower. That to me seems like the activity of someone aiming to put a stop to his plan altogether. Indeed. Lady Darklaw, what would be the reason for such behavior? I leave that to you, Mr. Wright.
Oh great, I get to do my job again.
Based on what we've seen in this trial, the defense believes Ms. Darklaw's reason for covering up her actions tonight can only be attributed to one thing. Fucking hating Arthur Cantabella. This plan was handed down by the storyteller himself.
Yeah, at this point, Herschel's been around enough for revenge plans that he should
Be more aware. And Ms. Darklaw was definitely aiming to put a wrench in it, but why? Kill him! There's one possible reason I can think of as to why Ms. Darklaw had to hide her actions tonight. She was aiming to betray the storyteller. Betray the storyteller? I agree, Mr. Wright. The storyteller used the Great Witch Bezella to take his own life. Instructions to carry out the plan were given to Ms. Kira. However, Ms. Darklaw planned to intervene and change the scenario at the last minute. She planned to do so by changing the identity of the Great Witch from Ms. Kira to Ms. Cantabella. Thus bringing us to our current situation, Ms. Cantabella on trial for the murder of her father at the hands of Bezella. This is Herschel's first act of her mystery. You, Ms. Darklaw, seem to harbor a rather strong hatred for the storyteller, if I am not mistaken.
Who wouldn't hate this guy? Who wouldn't hate this guy? I hate this guy, and I'm not even there.
A hatred, you say? Yes, I suppose you could call it that.
Girl, you should hate him. Hello, Nate. Welcome to... I love this game so bad. It's so stupid. Oh, fuck. I didn't mean to do that. I was like, what? What am I presenting?
That's right. Behold, my revenge.
Did you say revenge? Ms. Darklaw, will you please tell the court of your plan for revenge?
If you insist.
Ugh, I love this drawing of her. I love it a lot. She looks like more baby in this, and like she's only like 20. She is kind of baby. You know, she's a baby. 7 hours of exposition is the worst way to tell a story. I love this game so much. It's such a good game.
The High Inquisitor, and also the Great Witch. Long have I donned those two masks. One as Labyrinthia's protector, the other its harbinger of destruction. In other words, I was merely meant to serve him. And yet, he sought to selfishly pen the ending of the story under his own terms. He did not care enough about me, or any of the townspeople, to allow us the dignity of deciding our own fate. Indeed, what we witnessed tonight was the cowardly act of a man looking for an easy way to end that which he could not properly finish. He cared for no one but himself, hence this sudden sham of an ending. And for that, I will never forgive him.
She's like, the storytelling sucks. Boo, your season finale was terrible. You should have been canceled before this season.
What do you mean by sham of an ending?
Have you seen Game of Thrones? It's like that. The Great Witch Bezella is to summon a dragon of fire and end the life of the creator. She will then be put on trial and judged, thus heralding a period of peace and prosperity for all of Labyrinthia.
Hey. Hey. What is that? Nice.
Such is the ending written for this town and its people. This is not an ending I oppose in principle. Who would not wish a happy ending for their own people? However, the problem lies in Bezella's identity.
Whoa, that's a lot of Keurig cups.
It's a Carter's birthday present because I missed his birthday and I wanted it to go.
Cool.
Bezella's identity?
As you know, he assigned the role of the Great Witch to this girl beside me.
You know what? Think about it though. Would that be a satisfying ending? If you were reading this book or watching this movie, if you're just thinking like story-wise, I know like satisfying ending is not what you want in real life, but think about it. As an audience member, if it was this random ass girl, you'd be like, she's Bezella? Okay. This game isn't necessarily good, but it is also really good, and I think one of the reasons it's really good is it's like, it commits to being absurd. You know? It like commits to being really absurd at times. Love that for it.
But you're saying that was a falsehood, is that correct?
I knew Bezella's true identity. It is not something I could ever forget. That is why I went to the bell tower, and it is why I took the accused there. I did it to ensure the true witch foretold in the story was given the judgment she was due. She's so fucked up.
The true witch you don't mean?
Bam.
Yes, I speak of none other than Espella Contabella. And her 16
Leaf smudges? I don't know what those are.
Objection!
Hey, Phoenix. Ms. Darklaw, there is a glaring contradiction in your statement.
And what would that be?
It's supposedly common knowledge that Bezella is capable of using all magic. However, that is far from the truth. Magic does not actually exist in this town. It was all one giant illusion created by the Shades. Therefore, the Great Witch Bezella cannot exist either. Okay, you're all gonna just like ... at me. That's rude. Really? Everyone? Nothing?
You fool. Defender, you really don't have a clue, do you?
I fucking guess not. What? Wait just a minute now. Is the defender not correct? If magic does not exist, then it goes without saying that witches do not exist either. That would include the Great Witch, would it not?
Oh, shit. One of my merch items is shipping to me.
That's right.
They've been lying to us this whole time.
Dastards.
Dastards?
Bezella isn't real.
Objection!
Mr. Wright, there is a fundamental mistake in your argument.
Great. What do you mean? I want to go to bed, man.
I have but one simple question. What exactly is Bezella?
Huh? Well, she's supposed to be the head of all witches.
Allow me to reword the question. The Great Witch Bezella is the root of all disaster within Labyrinthia. Knowing that, what specific disaster might she have been the root of? There's only one we know of.
That would be,
I just thought of something. We've been hearing Bezella's name left and right since we got here. But not once has the real Bezella shown up in person.
Indeed, Miss Fay. Bezella herself has been virtually absent from the story thus far. But Inquisitor, did she not claim the life of the storyteller tonight? It would appear so, Your Honor. However, there's just one more thing. Consider this. Which particular story is every citizen of Labyrinthia most familiar with?
well, that would have to be the legendary fire, right?
Precisely. Surely you're not serious. As the name implies, it is but mere legend. No one knows for certain if it occurred. So they say, but the reality is there are still traces of that terrible fire within the town today.
The professor's right. We've even seen some of it up close and personal. Quick little flashback.
Yeah, at the Great Archive.
You are indeed correct, Inquisitor. Littered throughout the town are burnt remnants of a fire most fierce. However, no one can say for certain what transpired back then, you see. Not a soul saw what actually happened.
Let me see if I have this straight. There's an entire town full of people, and no one saw what happened?
Correct. Except for one particular person.
What?
There's one person who saw everything.
Bam.
I am speaking, of course, of the one responsible for the fire itself, the Great Witch Bazella.
Yes. I remember it. All of it.
Spella, what are you saying?
When I close my eyes, I can picture it so vividly. That awful sight of the flames engulfing everything they touched. The scorching heat on my skin. The smell of burning cinder all around me. The large plumes of black smoke. The warm tears streaming down my face. I remember it all.
What you are recalling now is the moment the Great Witch Bazella destroyed our town. Well, it appears my role here is finished. As for the rest, I leave it in your capable hands, Inquisitor.
I forgot she just fucking leaves. Like, bye, girl. Huh?
Darklaw, she just vanished into thin air, and she vanishes like a ghost.
What is that from? Is that a McElroy thing? Maybe that was something from Taz.
She's right. These memories are proof that I am Bazella.
But, Spella.
Mr. Wright? Remember, if you will, what I said at the beginning of this trial. I came here to prove that Spella Cantabella is in reality the Great Witch Bazella.
Right. I forgot we're in our divorce arc.
There is still one more thing I wish to present to the court. I would now like to call the final witness to the stand.
The final witness? And the broken lights!
Hold it!
I'm sick of this man.
Ah, it would appear he has arrived.
Oh, not the broken lights with that entrance. That looked like shit. Did that look so bad or what, guys? That looked so bad.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I give you this trial's final witness, the storyteller.
Boo. I don't want to see this man.
And just like that, he appeared. The man who died not hours before. And the victim of this very trial, the storyteller himself.
Community theater ass entrance.
The professor sure chose one heck of a final witness. Morning is drawing closer and closer. How this trial will end is anyone's guess, but I need a fucking nap.
To be continued. Wow. Let's see. We have. Okay, where am I? We are on the first story, part 1? Are we? That can't be right. Why is this an epilogue? Why did they do it this way? Sorry, I was trying to figure out how much of the game we had left because I knew it was quite a bit, but I wasn't sure how much. I just, like, that's not, to me, that's not what an epilogue is. The epilogue, to me, in my brain, the epilogue would start when everyone is standing outside talking. Like, once everything has been wrapped and they're all standing outside, the sun has risen, and they're all talking. That's an epilogue. This isn't an epilogue. I don't know who was like, this is the epilogue. This isn't it. This isn't what an epilogue is. The epilogue is after the story has ended. It's not this. Whatever this is just chapter next. I don't know which one. Why does this say a link to Herschel's Layton's Twitter? What is this? Oh, it's... Oh, this must be the blog spots. Okay. Twitter. I was like, why the fuck is... Sorry. Professor Layton, Ace Attorney Walkthrough.blogspot.com. My best friend for when I get stuck. I haven't been using it a lot. I was trying to figure out how much is left because there's not great. I guess I could have used the AA wiki, but I couldn't find it fast enough. This came up first.
No, I don't quite know what to say. I am truly shocked. This is an epilogue?
Oh wait, oh my god! This is actually, this right here, Hannah's probably gonna be the only one who knows this, but we were looking through the AA4 concept art yesterday, and this is very similar to one of the concepts that they played around with for Trucy's brooch for a really long time. There was one they were really committed to that looked almost exactly like this. That's so funny. We were actually like noting that they also, Espella's look, she has bangs and then a short, blunt, like, frame. That they give Espella, but they actually tried that out for Trucy and also Vera and maybe one other female character. They knew they wanted to do that hairstyle for someone, and they could not find someone until they got to Espella, which was so funny to me. Did they ever use that for Mr. Roos? Let me check. No, not really. They did a half and half thing for him, but they didn't give him like a this thingy. He doesn't have one of those. He has like some. What is that? I have no idea what this is that I'm looking at. It's kind of like an H, but it's kind of like a scroll. I don't know. It's not this though. But I do know why you thought that, because he does have a half mask.
To see the storyteller again, alive and well. What was this voice? This was unexpected to me too, as I did not plan to appear before you all again. I was convinced that you would let all see the last of me at the parade. Fuck. But this is the trial for your murder. And you are alive.
Yeah, see? No one was killed. So let's call this whole thing off and never have witch trials again, please?
Whoa, Maya, take it easy. We're still in court, remember?
But what's the point of this? The storyteller wasn't killed. Espella would never do anything to harm her dad.
Objection.
Maybe she would, and maybe it'd be fine.
If only it was as simple as that to end this trial. However, it is not, Miss Faye.
But, Professor, can't you just drop the case? Can't you just stop this?
Search your memory and you will know the reason why. The crime Miss Cantabella is accused of is not just murder. This happened last time. The purpose of the Witches' Court is to sentence the witches for what they are. Isn't that right, Mr. Storyteller? You dumb fuck. I fully intend to expose the true identity of Bezella. And this would not be possible without you, Mr. Storyteller, on the witness stand. I see. And so you assumed the role of an inquisitor just to lure me here.
Sorry, I just remembered how long his section is.
Be that as it may, the Inquisition still maintains that Espella Cantabella is the Great Witch Bezella.
Dad.
It's been a long time, Espella. 4 years, in fact. You must have experienced many hardships living among the townsfolk. This daughter of mine never fits in with the others, no matter how hard she tries.
And whose fault is that? Whose fault is you? It seemed like she probably wasn't having that much of an issue when she was 8 years old. She had a friend. You guys lived in a small town. It probably wasn't that deep. The rest of this, you did to her. You did this. This is your fault. All of this is on you. You dumb fucking hacky puck. Like,
She doesn't fit in. Wonder why. I hate this man so bad. Is he our worst dad? Was he our worst dad? Hold on. Where is our list? Where is our list? Let me see if I can find it. Okay, it is... No, the only one worse than him is Branov. The only one worse than him is Branov. No, it's not. He's not the worst. He's close, but he's not the worst. It is best to worst. Roland, Firth, Dez with a question mark because we don't actually ever see him, like, with his child. Clark, then Herschel, Whistler, Newton, question mark, Reinhold, Cantabella, Branov. Not awesome. Not awesome. I had a dream there was a game called Ace Attorney versus Donkey Kong, and they argued about a skateboarding a time wasn't formidable enough for court. That's amazing. I wish that were canon. I want that to be AA7. That's the only AA7 I'll accept at this point. That's great. That's good.
No, it wasn't quite like that. There were people who supported me.
Can you guys do this later?
Aunt Patty was very kind, and the customers who came to our bakery were nice to me.
I'm happy to hear that. I wanted to watch over you ever since you left for the town, but in the end I failed to do so. I had no idea of what was happening to you. Bad Dad Award winner. I am very sorry, Isabella. You should be more sorry. You're not sorry enough. I don't know how to tell this to this man. He fucked up so bad. Like, very few have fucked up as badly as you. The one who fucked up more than you was running a fucking terrorist organization and killed his child's family and then threatened to do it to his other kid. Like, it's bad out here, Cantabella. Apologize more.
Oh, Dad, you don't need to apologize to me for anything. It's me that owes you an apology.
Take it back, Isabella. Take it back. Take it back, girl. He has to apologize for a lot. This man's getting his ass sued. This man's going to jail. You should not be on speaking terms with this man. You shouldn't. You should not be speaking to this man.
I was trying to hurt you.
I can't. It was all my fault, not yours. There's no reason for you to blame yourself.
Dad, I'm happy we got to talk before I die.
Bella.
You were so busy writing everyone's stories that we stopped talking to each other. Before, it was different. You used to have time for me.
Please forgive me. Why did it have to come to this? It's your own damn fault, man. What am I telling you? Mr. Storyteller, it's time to put everything in order now. The townsfolk and your daughter deserve to know the truth. The truth about yourself and the story. Yes, I suppose it is time I told you the truth. Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Storyteller. Let us begin. In this trial, I shall be judged. And we are the jury and executioner. Get me this man's head. I want it on a stick. Understood. The witness shall testify. People of Labyrinthia who have gathered in this court. So all of them? Fucking all of them? I will now tell you the true story. Many of you will certainly find it hard to believe and difficult to accept. Nevertheless, I ask you to please lend me an ear and listen with open minds. Isabella, my dear daughter, I ask you to do the same too. And then kick his ass. Girl, it's about to break so bad for you. It's about to break so bad. The truth about Labyrinthia. Although you know me as the storyteller, I have one more identity. I am the president of Librellum Inc.
Is that how we are going to say it? Librellum? Is this a real thing? I don't think it is, so I might be able to say whatever I want. Oh, it's an anagram of umbrella? Wait a minute, what? What is umbrella? Am I supposed to know what umbrella is? A reference to the... Oh, I don't know anything about Resident Evil. I know like a few things about Resident Evil, and it's not the fucking Umbrella Corporation. Yeah, that is not one of the like few things I knew about that game. My god, there's so many remakes! If you go on the Resident Evil regular Wikipedia page, there's a release timeline. They release games non-stop. Holy shit. My god. Wow. Anyway. Also, the testimony font is so much fancier because the other day, was it Ninja? It might have been Ninja who was like, the testimony font in AA4 is so fucking default. Anyway.
This old town is one of Librellum's research facilities. It may be hard for you to comprehend.
You're telling me. How is this allowed?
This land is rich in a very special substance which affects everyone who lives here. This substance enables the manipulation of people's minds. And that is what Librellum is researching. This experiment began 10 years ago. The townsfolk all became test subjects. I don't understand. What does it all mean? I don't quite understand what I've just heard. I do not blame you. I suppose all the townsfolk are just as confused. Labyrinthia is an artificial town, created entirely by me,
an unhinged man with bad writing skills.
But of course, as artificial as it may be, it is the reality for those who live here. For the past 10 years, I have been bringing illusion to life by writing the story. I am lost for words. It feels as if the whole world has been turned on its head. Your Honor, it is certainly not an easy matter to grasp this new situation at once. Regardless, I suggest we hear more of what the witness has to say. Yes, I agree. Let's continue. The defense may begin the interrogation.
Am I supposed to know who Ace is, Novala?
Thank you, Your Honor. I assume we don't mean this Ace.
Oh, zero. Oh, fuck. Zero Escape. You're right. I was actually thinking about Zero Escape before. Because we were talking about Resident Evil, my mind was like, oh, is Ace from Resident Evil? I got you. We are thinking the same thing. Ace is also not even on thin ice. Cool man. He is in the water. Drowning. Not about that.
Hold it!
This is too much. I don't even know where to start.
Librellum Inc. That's a name I have heard before. Fun fact, an anagram. It is a global pharmaceutical company with headquarters in England. If my memory serves me right, it was founded by Arthur Cantabella.
Indeed. That is my true name.
Were you familiar with that, Mr. Wright?
Sure, yeah, I've heard of Librellum Inc. Of course.
What? Librellum Inc. is known for developing a completely harmless anesthetic about 20 years ago. It is now widely used in hospitals all around the world. The company is also working on various other plant-derived sedatives revolutionizing medicine.
He's a liar, Professor.
I suppose I shouldn't be surprised by your vast knowledge, Mr. Layton.
Objection!
What are we even objecting to? That's irrelevant. I know that's not what he's talking about, but it sounds like it's the way that reads was like the storyteller being like, wow, professor, you're really smart. And Phoenix was like, excuse me, shut up. Do not compliment him. That fact is just based on the real world we're from, not Labyrinthia.
The real world, Mr. Wright. Then what would you think call the world we are in now? Do you think this is a fantasy?
No, that's not quite what I meant.
Mr. Wright, I do not mean to be so rude as to presume I know what thoughts are running through your head. However, Labyrinthia is certainly not a place within a book, or in the past. Labyrinthia is a part of the world we know.
Huh. What? But how could a town like this exist in the real world?
Do you think it's impossible? Why would that be? Are you saying that everyone would know about an unusual town like this if it existed? Because let me tell you, there are some unusual towns out there. Some curious villages even.
It's something like that. Anyway, it would be on a map. At least.
No, I'm afraid that it cannot be so.
Huh?
This town is not marked on any map. It doesn't officially exist.
What do you mean?
The answer is quite simple.
Hold it!
I'm just pressing all of them. I don't remember if we have to or not. This whole town is a research facility.
Yes, this whole area is a private property of Labrellum Inc.
So, they own all this land then.
That is why Labyrinthia is not marked on any map, and people from the outside cannot enter. We have taken measures to ensure that this town is not noticed by local residents.
Yeah, because isn't it on an island? What measures are you talking about?
Consider the fact that magic is supposed to exist in this town. Perhaps special mechanisms that were used to create magic also serve to conceal Labyrinthia. There are limits to what magic the Shades are capable of producing on their own, after all. That is the case indeed. The magic in this town has been made feasible owing to the latest technology. Technology? Tricks! I cannot believe this! However, there is one question. There is no industry in Labyrinthia. How do you obtain the necessary commodities? Very observant, aren't you? All commodities are regularly shipped in by sea. A young man once made his way here on a freighter and took a speller out of the town.
Oh. Did we also all forget about this line? Hell yeah! It's our fucking guy! It's him! Woo! Carmine! Our favorite dude! Yes! I still think that's so funny because, like, it implies he got in on a freighter and then just, like, took her and left. And why would he do that? I have so many questions. We need a Versus 2, and I want it to be exclusively about Carmine, my favorite character. Favorite Layton character? Favorite Ace Attorney character? Maybe. He has the funniest name, and they were really interested in designing this man who shows up, like, twice. And that is hilarious. I love that. It's so funny. He is so fucking funny. I love him. That was Carmine Accidenti, a friend of mine who ended up in a tree. Huh, I see. But is something on this scale really possible? As you might suspect, it would be beyond keeping... No, it would be on fuck. As you might suspect, it would be beyond the power of Labrellum Inc. to keep a facility of this size a secret for long. Labyrinthia is a project co-funded by the British government. I love this game so much. I love this game so much. What? It's a government project? But what would be their stake in this? Fucking around and finding out? I don't know.
It's all because of my beliefs.
His beliefs.
Ah, by the way, yes, Your Honor. What is a research facility? I've never heard of anything like that before. Ah, yes, that was careless of me. Naturally, you wouldn't know what it means. How should I explain? This whole town is my creation.
Ah, that was what it's about.
In other words, it's all your story. That makes it all clear.
Swing and a miss, Your Honor.
Getting back to the topic. There is an important reason why we have chosen to build such a facility here.
So true, Hannah.
Hold it!
A special substance. What does it actually do?
This area has been isolated since ancient times, developing his own unique culture.
There are underground ruins on the verge of this town. We've found writings there, presumably left by the natives of this land. A bell that was supposed to be there was missing.
So you've seen the ruins. I suspected you would find them. Then perhaps you have also noticed that everyone who lives here has a very peculiar condition. A peculiar condition, you say? I can't just sit here quietly like a patient old man when you're saying such things. Just what kind of condition is it?
You have every right to know.
This condition makes people fall unconscious upon the sound
of a certain metal being struck. I love this game. This is so stupid. I am obsessed with it. Metal? What kind of metal?
Pure silver. And so there is not a single object made of silver in Labyrinthia.
Now that I think of it, that's true. I, Phoenix Wright, know what silver looks like. I know how to spot pure silver. Me, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. I know pure silver when I see it. Just imagine what a disaster a fancy dinner would be if everyone fainted whenever they used silver cutlery.
This condition is an integral part of magic.
How so?
All inhabitants of Eldritch Woods carry small silver bells.
I see now.
Oh wait.
The shades ring the bells when they need to create the illusion of magic. Everyone present falls unconscious, and the shades set to their work.
Ah, look at where that where that shade's hand was. So that's the secret of the time-stealing magic Darklaw told us about.
Now that you mention it. Kira had a small bell with her when we saw her back at the marketplace.
We have been researching this condition at Labrellum Inc. And finally we have discovered its cause. It was the groundwater.
Ah, great game.
Water caused it? The groundwater contains a certain unique substance found in the soil in this area.
So, if you drink that water, you get this silver allergy thing?
What? Of course, we've been drinking it. It's impossible to live without water. Of course. That's why everyone who lives here has that condition. Oh dear. You needn't worry. This condition is harmless, especially as silver is unknown to the townsfolk.
Huh. Something's still not quite right, though. If the sound of silver bells makes people pass out, why don't the shades pass out too?
Although the effect of the substance in the groundwater is powerful, it doesn't last long. The condition will vanish after a day or so without drinking the water.
That's convenient.
That substance effects aren't limited to humans. It can also affect plants to a great extent.
Plants are affected by it.
Our research was focused on the plants rather than humans.
crazy. That sounds really scary. Just what is this about?
The substance enters the groundwater, affecting organisms that consume it. People who drink daily acquire that odd condition. They fall unconscious upon hearing the sound of silver metal. Yes, although the substance in the groundwater also has a tremendous effect on plants. Wildflowers in this area contain a certain poison. Upon my bed, poison! This poison doesn't harm the body. It has the effect of manipulating the mind.
So it brainwashes people.
I've been writing the story for 10 years. Then the title of the story is Historia Labyrinthia. The ink I used to write it was made from those plants.
Oh, Nick, do you remember how funny the ink smelled?
That was the gas released when the ink evaporates. And that's where the trick is.
What?
Those that inhale the gas become extremely susceptible to suggestion.
You mean brainwashing?
They will believe anything they are told, or anything they read, however strange or unrealistic. It will be imprinted into their minds as the truth.
So that was the true purpose of the parades.
Pages of the story written in that special ink were regularly distributed among the townspeople. It was done so that everyone would be in a state of hypnosis.
God, we should have done more last week so we could do the rest of it this week, because we're gonna probably have to end in a really fucking weird part if I don't figure this out. If I don't speed it up.
Indeed. The creation of a fully controlled town with the inhabitants subject to long-term hypnosis. That was one of the topics of our research.
But why?
Then the story that is written in the Historia Labyrinthia.
You could call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, realized through the shade's work, and the hypnotic effect of the ink vapors.
Oh, the vapors.
Is that how it was all this time?
The realm used hypnosis to control all these people. I can't believe that. The government was supporting that? I don't know.
Hold it!
Oh, we have a lot left of this part. Okay.
All the people subjected to this experiment have been living here all this time?
No, we started with just a few people, gradually getting more and more.
I must say that I am afraid of what the answer to this question might be, but where did these people come from? You haven't resorted to abduction by any chance, have you?
Well,
Of course not.
Eve did a little.
Every test subject signed a contract with Librellum.
No. A contract to have their memories erased and be used like pawns in a story?
The current inhabitants of this town have one thing in common. They were all dissatisfied with their lives and wanted to start anew, forgetting about the mistakes, forsaking unwanted identities. There are more people like that out there than you might think.
Hannah, I am going to message you about Zach after this.
They have all agreed to participate in our research.
Boo! Your research sucks. Your research sucks.
But that's insane and definitely unethical. I took one psych class.
It's not as unreasonable as you suggest. We give them a new identity, a chance to start their life again.
Again, people had kids in this experiment. There were children born into this experiment. There were also children brought into this experiment. Jean was probably brought into this experiment when she was like 4 or 5. Or, you know what? That's if she's probably only like 15 or 16. That was our guess for Jean. Like, that group of girls is probably between like 15, 16, maxing out absolutely at 17. if she had joined at the earliest, she would have been 6 or 7, which I still think is a little old. If her parents brought her in any time after the very start of this experiment, 6 or 7 was the youngest she would have been. Like, they can't be bringing in children into this. They're having children in this experiment, and they can't withdraw their consent because they do not know there is consent to give. Like, yeah, like, how are we doing British citizenship? I don't know anything about it, but, like, come on. Absolutely messed up. Belduke is, like, frantically giving, like, sex ed talks, hoping people don't have children, but some kids, like, meet someone and want to have kids, and now they have to deal with experiment children.
It's not as
Wait, we read this.
In return, they subject themselves to hypnosis and live this town as our test subjects.
What?
In order for this project to be possible, we suppress their memories of the past, including the memory of signing the contract.
Boo!
So ultimately, they are not aware of what is going on.
This is not how you do a double-blind study, my guy.
I couldn't have agreed more. I have no idea what's going on.
Great.
Let me make this clear, Mr. Wright. We do not erase their memories. We suppress them.
One sec. This is important because it's on a time limit, and I have to send it. I actually missed it by 26 minutes already, so. Hold on. This is, like, really important. I'm so sorry. Okay, let me... Okay, I'm back. Sorry, like, I've been really struggling with some zine stuff, like trying to get in contact with people, and I finally got a response from someone, and so, like, it was really important that I respond as soon as possible, but I don't understand what they're telling me. Okay.
Let me make this clear, Mr. Wright. We do not erase their memories. We suppress them. They will regain their memories of life before Labyrinthia, once their contract is over.
So, this place was uninhabited before you started this research 10 years ago?
And you've managed to keep everyone in a state of hypnosis for 10 years straight.
Can you really hypnotize someone for that long? I mean, 10 years is one heck of a long time. Phoenix, you don't know this yet. You're about to be disbarred, and it's not even gonna be for 10 years. It's only gonna be for, like, 7
and like I think maybe 8 if you're going by when you get your badge back. Like when you actually go take all the stuff again, like that wasn't even 10 years. So like that's a long time. You're gonna raise a whole daughter during that time. And that was only 7.
It was achieved through the distribution of the story during parades. The ink vapors have a powerful effect, but it wouldn't last 10 years, of course. With each parade, the effect was renewed. That's why the parades took place at regular intervals. That was the true purpose of the event.
Yeah, we already know this, man. We already talked about this. All right, we finished that section. And by that section, I mean we finished that testimony, technically.
I have been born and raised here. It was a poor, small town with no industry to speak of that had fallen behind on the times. Ever since I was a child, I had one friend that was especially close to me. He was a bright boy, curious about the world. His name was Newton Belduke. Sir Newton Belduke? The alchemist?
If I keep vanishing, it's because I'm trying to fix things that are on fire. So they were childhood friends. The plot thickens. Maya gives Phoenix like a very knowing look. She's like, childhood friends? Interesting.
We had always been interested in the unique natural features of this land. There was really nothing here, but to us this area was an exciting place worth exploring. And one day we made an astonishing discovery on the outskirts of the town. We stumbled upon the entrance to the underground caverns leading to the colossal ruins.
Oh, we actually haven't finished this part, I guess.
Ah, fuck. Whoa, look at that, Newton. This is so amazing. And this strange writing, I've never seen anything like it before.
They're buzzing.
We found ancient writings in the ruins. Newton managed to decode some of them.
How? 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 This isn't how it works. Fuck you, Layton Games, for pushing this mythology of like, he decoded it. That's not how written language works. We need things that is why things like the Rosetta Stone are so important, because they provide us with like an example of a language we already have more that we can go off of. This is why Des would not be able to just read the Azran unless we had something more. But the Azran were so long ago. Like, I have to stop thinking this deeply, but like, I read one book on how hard it is to decode some stuff from early ancient Greece. And ever since, I've just been like, we can't. It's fine. Yeah, he's doing the fucking, the Nancy Drew, like, code breaker puzzles. Oh. It literally has, Hannah. That curse tablet book has made me into a different person. It really has. In, like, a way most books don't change me. Let alone non-fiction books. Are you kidding me? It was crazy. It was a wild experience.
According to our findings, a highly advanced culture had existed on the land where our little town was built.
I'm so curious, like, what this other one was. Like, a highly advanced culture, but, like, the Azran were already in England. So is this also, but this is probably, well, it's probably not the Azran purely because they aren't trying to do that much of a crossover. But, like, what? Who would this be? Were they after the Azran? Before that? Are you going to say something about water, Hannah? Hannah, are you about to say something about water to me? Yes, you are! I knew it! I know you so well.
Some great calamity had befallen the natives, and they migrated elsewhere. They believed that the plants and water in that area were cursed by an entity they called the Great Witch Bezella. The natives...
How did you know the proper nouns? I always have to ask. Oh! You know what, Sarah? I am into that. How do you say that? The Tua Didanan? I don't know. I used to know how to say it. And it's been several years, so let me just double check to make sure let's see if I can get a pronunciation on that one. Because I got it wrong last time. Tua di Dianan, I think. Yeah. It's fine. Tua... Yeah, that's it. Alright, cool. It can be whatever we want it to be because they're sure not about to tell us.
The natives sealed the curse within the ruins and then left in search of a new home. That is all that we managed to decipher. Bezella's curse. It was sealed...
Well, it was sealed in the ruins, you say? Would that be the Bell of Ruin? I'm choosing the headcanon that, like... Layton has no fucking idea what the spell is actually called, so he panicked, and he named it the Bell of Ruin. If you actually, like, knew a native speaker, it would not be Bell of Ruin, but he panicked and was like, the Bell of Ruin, and Arthur's just like, sure, I don't know. We can call it the Bell of Ruin, I guess. It's not wrong.
The Bell of Ruin, sure.
Oh, that's the bell from the bell tower. I wonder why it's got an ominous name like that.
And Layton's over there sweating because he doesn't know if it does. He has no idea what the spell is called.
Regrettably, we couldn't get any further information from the writings at the time. Needless to say, Newton and I were very distressed.
Distressed? I'm distressed.
We're very excited by the discovery. I knew it. This place is special. It has some kind of mysterious power. If we could find out what that is, our humble town would become famous.
I love how this is like, technically, because they've decided, okay, we're gonna step away from the vague setting of somewhere in the past, kind of, for Layton, which is kind of the vibe you get when you're playing most Layton games, and it's going to be mostly when you go to London, it's gonna feel like Ace Attorney time period, so pretty modern. And then these guys who, if they're in their, this would be like maybe what, like the Ace Attorney is Offset. What I'm saying is these outfits are wild. These outfits are a very funny choice for whatever era they're, yeah, 1800. Like, I was like, maybe the 70s, but I can't do that timeline fast enough to see how old, what it would be. Like, but yeah, these guys straight up met Ryunosuke. They were there. They knew Herlock Sholmes. Like, Herlock Sholmes in Labyrinthia. What will he do?
You know what? I'm going to do that. I will unravel the mystery of this place. And so Newton began studying the indigenous plants, the substances dissolved in the groundwater. On the other hand, I studied economics and management at a university in London.
Lame.
I dreamed of bringing prosperity to this poor, forgotten town. I wanted to change it for the better with my own hands.
That's so true.
Meanwhile, Newton had succeeded at extracting a new anesthetic from the local plants. Was that the anesthetic which led to the foundation of Librellum? Yes, it was a huge success for Librellum Inc., and before we knew it, we were making a fortune. We wanted the whole world to hear about our hometown. Alas, fate was not kind to us, as we never realized that dream. Everyone in our town had died. All the townspeople perished. Huh? Just what on earth happened to them? That does not matter anymore. We purchased the environs of our town, the mountains, the lakes, the plains, everything. Then, 10 years ago, having received financial support from the government, we started Project Labyrinthia.
Bird moment.
It was a much smaller in the beginning. It started out as no more than a village.
Fuck that up.
Over the course of 10 years, it slowly grew into a town. The population increased as well.
Herschel hearing Arthur's testimony about the bell swing.
Ah, I sure hope my pedantic brother is nowhere near here.
Des somewhere.
Raymond, get to the Bostonius. My Herschel and bad archaeology senses are tingling. Especially since, like, I personally, when I talk about my Gressenheller AU, where they're all professors who just fucking hate each other for no reason, and I mean in canon, I always have Des being like a language guy. He does classic languages, and classic and antiquity languages. That's like his specialty, is ancient languages. So that is a thing for him that drives him nuts. when Layton is just out here like, the Bell of Ruin. The Bell of Ruin? Des is like, no! Stop it!
More people were signing the contract with Librellum, slowly increasing the number of inhabitants, correct?
Wait. If we have hundreds of people signing these contracts, how do people not know about this? Like, that's a lot of people to get involved in an experiment. Where are you advertising this? Like, I mean that in a genuine way. like, because is everyone who's signing up getting in, or is there some kind of recruitment process where you can get rejected? Because usually, like, when you don't just get to be a part of an experiment, a lot of times they need to talk to you first, and sometimes you don't get in. So, like, is everyone getting in, and that's why no one knows? Because every time someone's like, yeah, I'll sign, and, like, is, like, no one saying no? Like, is everyone just like, yeah, sure? Or, because, like, no one was posting on Reddit. Like, I just got this weird I just found the most wild experiment that I got offered to join. You guys are never gonna believe this shit. Like, huh? Maybe the government is deleting Reddit posts or something? I don't know. Wild.
More people signing the contract with Librellum, slowly increasing the number of inhabitants, correct?
That was a wild choice.
Yes, they would sign the contract, be hypnotized and assigned a role, and then introduced into the world of the story.
What the fuck?
My thoughts exactly.
The BuzzFeed Unsolved episode, exactly.
I have spoken at length. Thank you for patiently listening to my tale of
15 hours!
Rosella is the name of a witch from an ancient legend that we read about in the ruins. It is a fictional character. She does not exist. But what then? Magic and witches.
Oh, hello. Go to bed then.
Magic is just an illusion. Then there are no witches.
Alright, so it was all fake. That doesn't make it much better. Why did you write a story where people get killed with magic and witches are thrown into the fire? Why did you write abject poverty into this? What the fuck is wrong with you? You could have made it a peaceful, pleasant world where everyone would be happy and everyone would have equal income and basic universal income, maybe some healthcare. Were you guys paying for healthcare? That sucks.
No, that was not possible.
But why? That sounds dumb.
This is a research facility after all. We're researching ways to completely control human beings.
These guys, like, I understand he has alternative motives. These guys didn't, like, stop to, like, no one else involved stopped to ask, like, why? You know, that one quote from Jurassic Park, like, your scientists were so concerned with whether they could, they didn't stop to wonder whether they should or whatever the fuck. That quote is from Jurassic Park, like, why would you need to completely control people? Why would you want to do that? These are the important questions you're supposed to ask yourself. Yeah, oh, this is English military bags, huh? Yikes. This is very similar to Ace vibes now that I'm thinking of it. Novala was so right.
Test subjects need to be exposed to extreme situations, so we decided upon a fantasy setting for a little bit of fun. We wouldn't have got funding from the government otherwise. In other words, we're running a business.
And that's why I introduced poverty. To put people under stress.
But just what instructions do you give the people you hypnotize?
You don't give each of them a full set of memories of their whole fictional life, do you?
No, it's much more simple than that. We only give them 2 pieces of information. The first one, that they were born in this town, and the second was their new occupation. Then they fill in the gaps themselves, without being aware of it. The human mind requires a consistent story of one's life. Which means, of course, that no labyrinthian has memories from earlier than 10 years ago. No one has any memories from before they came to Labyrinthia. What are you saying?
That's all one big lie. I am who I am.
This guy really said, I shall give an existential crisis to the most people at once.
But can you remember your childhood? I can't.
That's true. I can't remember. Even my parents. No way! I can't recall my own mother's face!
As you can hear, no one can remember their real past. There are no exceptions.
Huh. Wait a second. No exceptions. I smell a contradiction here.
Ah, it seems Mr. Wright too has noticed it now. What are you talking about, Layton?
Holy shit, guys, we're gonna do a gameplay.
Mr. Cantabella, you have just testified that not a single citizen of this town remembered anything from more than 10 years ago.
Yes, that is the truth.
Now, that's a strange assertion, especially coming from you.
Eve also could have just swapped out the parade ink. That would have been very funny of her.
What? What do you mean?
There's one person in this town who remembers what happened more than 10 years ago.
That cannot be. It is impossible. They must be merely imagining things now.
Mr. Wright, please enlighten us all. Who is this person that remembers their past?
Take that!
We played a video game, guys. We hit a button.
Precisely, Mr. Wright. That person is none other than Espella Cantabella.
What? That's impossible.
It's true, Dad. I remember it clearly, as if it happened yesterday. The legendary fire.
No, that's impossible. That's just your imagination, Espella.
No, it's not. I couldn't remember it before. But it all came back to me, because I'm Bezella.
No, Espella, there are no witches. That fire was just a bad dream.
The Inquisition would like to call Espella Cantabella to testify.
Holy shit.
What? Regardless of whether Miss Cantabella is Bezella or not, her memories may contain valuable clues.
Yes, that may be so. No, wait. I don't agree to this. This trial is over, Your Honor.
Objection.
seem to be forgetting something, Mr. Cantabella. Your story has ended. You are no longer in control. Fuck you. You are merely one of the characters. And this is also why we will not cease seeking the truth until we find it. Defense, what is your opinion on this? The speller keeps insisting that she's the witch Bizella. As her attorney, I should refuse to let her speak to the court. But what's really important now is finding the truth. Just as Layton said, there's only one way to proceed with this trial. And that's by questioning Ms. Cantabella about her memories. In that case, the court summons Isabella Cantabella as witness. Attendants, bring the accused to the witness stand.
Hold on, I want to pull up. Who's Phoenix? Slicer. Let me mute this real quick. Beautiful playlist. I'm trying to see how much is left. This is the special episodes. Sorry. It looks like there are, this is 41 minutes, and it looks like there's 54 minutes. So it looks like there's about an hour and a half of Slicer time left. And that's gonna be more because I have to voice it all. So I'm trying to I'm trying to figure out if I should keep going and start this, or if I should stop at this testimony. So maybe let's go for like another 20 minutes, and we'll still have enough next week to be fine. Great. I just wasn't sure. I couldn't, I know this part takes a long time, and there's also a lot at the end, but I couldn't really remember actually how much was left. Because sometimes these people just fucking talk. But sometimes, I don't know, sometimes in these games, suddenly you're done and you're like, oh, fuck.
Now, witness, testify about your memories of the legendary fire.
Yes, my lord. I was just a little girl then. It happened during the annual fire festival.
Fire festival? Uh-oh.
Everyone was gathered in town square for the fire festival, and I was watching them from the bell tower.
It could have been worse.
The great witch Bizella awoke within me and brought calamity upon the town. An enormous fire dragon appeared. I was trembling with fear, terrified by what I had summoned.
Witness, what you have told us wasn't a bad dream or fairy tale, but what you actually experienced?
Yes, it was. Like I have already said, I remember it very clearly. The heat from the fire, the smell of smoke.
Isabella, what are you talking about?
No. Sarah, I mean the fire festival in our world could have been worse. You know? Our fire festival could have been this. So, we lucked out. I would love chocolate orange cake. I would love it because Nate, you should check the Spilled Tea channel. You should check the Spilled Tea channel. Just could you do that for me? Thank you. Thank you.
The defense may cross-examine the witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is a long trial and my feet hurt. Was there really a huge fire that destroyed the town? And what about Bizella? Is she even real? Let me close some tabs. The answers are in Isabel's testimony.
Oh, we have to cross-examine, and then these two have issues, and then we have to do go up to the tower and find the dragon and the iron. Okay, yeah, this is gonna take forever. I think we're gonna have to do the press on everything because I don't remember what I'm doing.
Do you remember what age you were then?
I'm not quite sure, but I think I was 6 or 7.
And how old are you now?
The only age we have in this game. Woo! I love when a game gives us like one age and then we all have to extrapolate like everyone else's age from that one person's age. It's so funny.
I'm 18 years old.
That means those events did take place more than 10 years ago. It's very odd you have memories of that old. But perhaps you're mistaken about your age at that time.
This is why we have it written down, Hannah. I was literally going to ask you about it at some point because I had a question. I can't remember what I had it on, but I was like, man, how old is this character supposed to be? Hannah has the timeline.
Your Honor, no one besides Isabella has witnessed the legendary fire, which would mean that the incident occurred before Labyrinthia was created, over 10 years ago. Yes, I suppose that makes sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. How many times do I need to tell you there are no witches, no magic, I thought there was one more. The legendary fire is just a story. This interrogation serves no purpose.
I think I might not have cake in the fridge. I made a Black Forest cake this weekend for my brother's birthday. We might have some left, and if we do, I'm gonna eat some of that after this because things have taken a turn for the weird in the past hour.
Mr. Cantabella, the court asks you to be quiet during another witness's testimony unless you are asked to speak.
I love how there's so much going on. Like, even in his little thing, there's so much going on. I almost wish they simplified it more because it's, like, so busy. Chocolate orange cake does sound really good, though. I also actually... No, I'm doing a lot of talking. I have, like, Walmart, like, sugar cookies in my room, but I'm doing too much talking.
Hold it!
Could you tell us a little more about this fire festival you were watching?
When does this game take place? Hey, Hannah, I'm calling you back. Hey, Hannah, when does AA3 take place? I think this is something I can very quickly Google, but, like, I don't have the time.
Yes, it seems to be an ancient custom in this area. The townspeople make a fire offering to the Great Witch Bezella, so that she will not bring misfortunes upon them.
When was the fire festival in real life? Great fucking news. If this game was 2018, 2019, then the fire festival in real life took place in 2017, which means it is perfectly possible for Phoenix and Maya to hear these people being like, yeah, the fire festival, and for them both to just go, uh-oh, uh-oh. That's hilarious. Really good.
A great fire is lit in the middle of the town square. The festival lasts all night long.
That's correct. The festival takes place once every year. It is quite magnificent with all the townsfolk assembled in the square.
Mess that up multiple times.
Well, unless it is a counterfeit memory, imprinted on our minds by you. No, this festival has been held here since before I was born. It appears to be a very old custom indeed.
By the way, why were you in the bell tower in the first place?
Huh?
You know, you said everyone was at the town square. Why weren't you there?
I can't remember. I probably went there because Bezella awoke within me?
Despite having vivid memories of the fire, you do not remember much of anything else that occurred at the time.
Hey, Layton, sometimes that's how trauma works. trauma works in really weird ways on your brain, and it can work differently for different people. So it is perfectly plausible that she remembers, like, some moments very, very well, and others, like, no idea. Like, no idea. Perfectly plausible.
Yes? I was at the top of the bell tower, looking down at people in the town square. Someone was with me there. Oh, that's right.
It was Eve. I love this drawing. It's baby Spella and Eve. So cute.
Eve, her black cat, huh?
I didn't think Eve was that old.
Hmm?
Well then.
Ooh, ah! It's fine. I'm so fine.
Hold it!
Do you remember casting a spell?
Get it? A Spella? Bad joke.
I cannot remember.
Hang on!
Hang on.
You look upset, Mr. Cantabella. Pardon me, did you want something? I'd like to know what you think about Aspella's last statement. My opinion about all this has not changed since last time. It's all just a dream.
My guy said, no, I will not, like, change. Like, he's like, I will not take you to therapy, and in fact, I will, like, gaslight you out of believing. I don't know if this is really gaslighting, because I feel like I have now, like, do not entirely know when to call things gaslighting, because everyone just uses that word all the time. But something did for real happen, and he is telling her that she made it all up and it wasn't real. So this feels like close enough that we could use that word. Yeah, this might be actual gaslighting.
Listen to me, Aspella. You're not Bizella. There was no legendary fire.
Tat, you have no idea how much I want to believe you, but I just can't. I remember what I saw and how it felt. The heat, the smoke.
Thank you, Nate. Much appreciated. I'll look after stream.
Magic doesn't exist. It belongs in fairy tales. There are no fire dragons either. Spella seems certain that she saw a fire dragon at the time. However, as long as we do not have any evidence to support or disprove this claim, we can't make any progress.
Do I have any relevant evidence? Do I have any relevant evidence? Anything that could demonstrate that the fire dragon Aspella saw as a child was real.
I don't think we do right now. Do we? No, we don't have the right sketch. We have to come back.
I don't think there's anything I could use.
I don't have it right now, Layton.
I can understand your choice to be cautious with your judgment, Mr. Wright. However, I must remind you that the only way to discover the whole truth is to bring light to the true nature of the dragon witnessed by the accused.
Yeah, I don't fucking have it though, dude. Shut up, Herschel.
I guess he has a point there, but I don't have we didn't.
Let's arm ourselves to the teeth with the evidence and give it another shot.
Alright, but first we need more info.
Time to do some pressing.
Yeah, we hadn't gotten to that part. Fucking genius over here. We haven't pressed on this one yet. I'm going in order because I'm bad at this game.
Can you tell me more about that fire dragon?
That monstrous image is still so vivid. It looked just like the one that attacked Dad this evening. I've done something terrible again.
Then you are sure that that fire dragon you saw more than 10 years ago and the one you summoned this evening were exactly the same?
Yes, they were definitely the same.
Does BVZ have a face grip sprite? It's actually been so long since I've seen DGS, I can't remember.
Hang on!
Hang on!
Is something wrong, Mr. Cantabella?
It's impossible. There's no such thing as magic.
You never believe me, Dad. I don't know why you have to be like this. Yeah, that's what I was asking Hannah. I think he does. He might not actually be gripping his face, but I feel like he also has a, like, face thing. There was a time when things were different.
Stella, what are you saying?
Look at them. It's like a common argument between a teenager and a parent.
Mr. Cantabella created this town. He knows better than anyone else that there's no magic here.
It might just be, like, in front of his face. I'll have to look later.
Miss Cantabella,
Yes?
would you mind giving us more details of what you saw?
Could I borrow a sheet of parchment and a pencil? I think it'll be better if I draw it.
Your request shall be granted. Bring parchment and pencil for the witness immediately.
That's it, Sarah. We just kind of see it from the side, so I don't think it has the same exact impact as seeing it from the front where it's really covering your face. But I think if you were looking head on, you would get a very similar effect. Thank you!
This is it. This is the fire dragon I saw that night. I only caught a glimpse of it, but it was real.
Great artist. She should go into art when this is all over. Graphic design, maybe. Fun logo. Make logos from your trauma, girl. Make some money.
I must say, it does closely resemble the supposedly magical creature we witnessed this evening.
Tattoo artist Spella! Sarah, you got it. That would be really good. That would be good. That would be a fucking awesome tattoo, too.
It does indeed. This drawing shall be added to the evidence. This is a farce.
What happened over a decade ago? Was the town really destroyed by a fire dragon? Discovering the truth about the dragon will be our next objective.
Witness, continue the testimony.
Yes, my lord.
We're actually gonna... Ah, fuck. Wrong button, wrong button.
Well, yeah,
So he's the author, and he's saying that Bazella doesn't exist?
that's right.
If that's the case, then there's no point to this whole trial.
We know that, but that's not enough to end it.
But why?
The professor has taken on the role of the Inquisitor in this trial in order to get Mr. Cantabella to testify. He wants to get to the bottom of this mystery.
And learn the whole truth?
Besides, I think this will be in Ispella's best interest, too. I trust the professor's judgment on this, so we'll carry on with the cross-examination.
Well, I trust you, Nick. I'm sure you know what you're doing.
He's like, that's too far.
Hold it!
Dun 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 dun
Hang on!
dun.
Hang on. I love that they gave them yelling at each other sprites. It's really funny to me.
Your Honor,
What is it, offender?
the defense will present evidence.
Do not dot at me, Herschel, okay?
Evidence, I suppose you mean evidence that will prove that my daughter's memories of the dragon amount to nothing more than wild imagination.
On the contrary, I'm pretty positive Ispella did see the dragon.
What? I thought you had more sense in you.
Well, aren't we all curious about what the defense has got to show us? Present evidence that proves a dragon appeared in this town over 10 years ago.
Take that!
Take that. Okay, we are going to do this part and then we're going to be done for the night. If I can... Wait. Oh my god. We're getting close to be continued, but I also think like as soon as we finish this one, we're gonna, after we do the Belfry stuff, we're gonna be done for the night.
It is, of course, Ispella's drawing of the dragon. It's impossible to draw a dragon with so much detail unless you've actually seen it. Hey guys, as much as this is... For all the bullshit in this game, this is actually the biggest bullshit to me. This is the biggest bullshit in the game. For me. What the fuck are you talking about, Phoenix? Shutakumi says dragons are real. This is the biggest bullshit in the game to me, especially because Phoenix has like thoughts TM on art the rest of the time. Like this is so stupid. Of all of the everything they want me to believe, this line here is the hardest one for me to actually buy. Holy shit! My friend Ace is real? That's crazy! Can I meet him?
Indeed.
Phoenix says that and Maya just like looks at him. She's just like staring at him. And then like there's like a pause and she's like,
I gave you like $5 to draw like this teal samurai. That guy's not real.
And it looks very much like that fire dragon we saw this evening.
Didn't you draw manga in college? What are you talking about?
It cannot be a mere coincidence. You cannot possibly use that drawing as evidence.
bitch, we've been using drawings as evidence this whole time.
And why not? Because she couldn't have just drawn the dragon from this evening.
Oh, she could have just drawn the dragon from this evening. I read that wrong. Dad, why don't you believe me? I saw that dragon when I was little. Okay, he does have a point here though, like, she could have just drawn the dragon from this evening. He's wrong, but like also, she could have. Memory is incredibly susceptible. Like, he's wrong, but also this whole section is goofy as fuck.
This town is my creation. I know everything about it, and I assure you there's no magic. If there's anyone who can tell me what's possible and what's not, it is me, the creator of Labyrinthia.
Your overconfidence has clouded your judgment and is preventing you from seeing the truth.
What do you mean?
In order to see what is really there, you need to reject biased assumptions and keep an open mind. You are overlooking certain facts precisely because you are the creator of this town.
It's nothing short of insanity.
Magic doesn't exist, and yet Isabella says she saw a fire dragon. It seems like a contradiction, but perhaps it is not. Mr. Wright?
Yes.
The solution to this mystery is out there. We just need to find it. Do you suppose you know where it is? Magic doesn't exist. Isabella saw a fire dragon. Where is the evidence that bridges the gap between these two?
There's only one way to explain this contradiction. Isabella somehow saw the dragon, but it wasn't a magical creature.
Then will you just tell us what it was?
Well, considering she's only 18, have you shown her any Disney movies? Before this, did you show her any Disney movies?
Any? Ever?
That event took place over 10 years ago. What she saw then should still be in the place where she was at the time.
Still there?
Yes, Your Honor. And that place is the Belfry.
It's in the Belfry? How are we all going to fit up there to watch?
Not the cut-off wonky moon. Oh, hi, Professor.
Over 10 years ago. The witness was standing somewhere around here when she saw a fire dragon. Am I correct?
Yes, Mr. Layton.
However, what was it that you actually saw then? Let us see if we can find the answer to that question. Why not? Go ahead and try. But I have warned you that it's futile. You will find nothing here.
Well, it happened a long time ago. Whatever she saw might not be there anymore. And if we want to see exactly what she saw at the time, we'll need to set the whole town on fire. Want me to go get matches?
I may be an attorney, but even I couldn't clear you of the charges if you actually committed such a crime, Maya. Maya, arson moments.
I will pretend I did not hear that. Shall we begin?
You better pretend you didn't hear that. Half the people you know are terrorists. Like, calm down, Professor. What's a little arson?
Let us look for the fire dragon. We can see the whole town from here.
Well, actually we can't. The lighting has fucked up pretty bad, I think. I think that's what's happening here. So we'll just have to hope when Layton goes away, we can find it.
Look in every direction for something that would resemble Miss Cantabella's drawing.
Please fix yourself. Please fix yourself. Please fix yourself. Thank God. Okay. How do I... Oh, there we go. I was so scared for a second that it wasn't going to show us and we were going to have to do this blind. That would have sucked.
Take that!
Isabella, can you have a look at this? It looks like the dragon was hiding in here after all.
Oh, this is the... Hey, that's identical to the one Espella drew.
She's really good at this. Oh my God. Espella, we have got to get you into an art program. When we get out of here, you should go to art school. You would kill it.
But, it's not the fire dragon. The fire dragon was a creature made of flames. It was so big it could swallow this whole tower. This is just some tiny fretwork.
I think we can consider this mystery solved. I suggest we all head back to the court. I will explain everything there. Is that all right with you, Mr. Cantabella?
No, does it look like it's all right with him? He's pissed.
Let's cut it into Mr. Cantabella. He looks paler than you do in the cold.
I have no idea. Let's follow the others back to the courtroom.
I love how much Maya and Phoenix rib each other in this game. It's like very natural to them that like every other line is them like insulting the other one. I kind of love it.
Do I need to do this talk? Okay, we are gonna stop right here. So we're gonna stop. And we're gonna also do an emulation save. All right, thank you all for coming. We are going to finish this game next week. That's shocking. So,
Thank you. We're so close to done. It's so much exposition, isn't it? On Thursday, we are going to try to get some new endings for Zero Escape because we got one of them and it was a bad ending. But we are going to try to get others. On Friday, I think Ronnie is out of town this week. So I will be playing one of the other point and click murder mystery kind of style games that I got off whatever. But I wanted to put this out here now because I don't want to do it just next week because I don't really know. I was wondering, since this is going to wrap up the Layton games, we have like puzzles to play and like lots of one-off. Des Dating Sim, thank you, Novala. Let me actually write that down because I completely forgot about that. I was like, what are we doing next? It is Des Dating Sim. I'm gonna need Hannah to send it to me. I might be able to find it in our server. Let me just write that down. Des. But after Des Dating Sim, we are gonna need to figure out what we're doing. So we have a few weeks to think about it. But like, if anyone has anything, Somnium Files is off the table because Ronnie and I are gonna play that together on Fridays at some point. but I don't think I have like any other like longer games really to play on Mondays anymore. So if anyone has any they suggest, let me know and I will look into them. But thank you all for coming. I'll see you Thursday, Friday, next week, whenever. Have a good week. Drink some water. Get some rest. I have to go deal with fires. So thank you for hanging out with me before I had to go do that. But good night.